Well, Zachary, you're in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Indeed.
Baylor gets a 45-27 win over Oklahoma State today. Um, from what I was able to follow, which I was, of course, at Baylor volleyball today, so didn't. I mean, I got to follow the game, but didn't really
Mhm.
get to see a lot of it. Um, Looked a little uneven again.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good
I
way to put
mean,
it.
but still a win.
Yeah. I mean, this offense continues to just tear the cover off the ball to mix sports metaphors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Sawyer-Robertson is just, I mean,
Balling. He's balling.
he's playing at a Heisman caliber level. There's no other way to put it. And he's got all the weapons. I think you saw every weapon available. He was using them, whether it was Michael-Trigg or Matthew Klopfenstein or any receiver,
Plus, he got a rushing touchdown today.
hey, for all the people saying Sawyer-Robertson can't run, I think he rushed for a first down and got a rushing touchdown on a designed run. So it's in there. It's in there somewhere. But then on the flip side, man, this defense is kind of hard to watch. Oklahoma State was not good offensively. I think they ranked in the hundreds in total offense and passing offense, and they like did way better than their season averages in both of those categories in the first half alone.
Mm.
Now I do have to give Baylor some credit. They did kind of make some adjustments at halftime and held them to 99 yards in the second half. So I think it was better, but I also think the game started to get out of hand, and Baylor started to lean on its run game and control the clock a little bit. So, that's kind of skewed, but yeah, it was uneven is a great way to put it because the offense is like, that's a championship winning offense, and the defense is like, what are you doing? And so, yeah,
Yes, but to be fair, last week, of course, it was flipped,
true. Yeah.
completely flipped, where the defense, carried the load and the offense didn't. Um, yeah, but I will say, 28-20 at halftime was rather alarming. It
Right.
was funny at the volleyball game. They would occasionally, and of course I'm following it, so I know the score ahead of time, but they would announce the score, right? And it's like 7-0 Baylor, and everybody's like, yeah, and then it's 7-7. And anyway, when they announced 28-20, there was just this sort of like murmur of like,
Oh boy. I think they had an announcement in the press box that I think that was the best offensive half for Oklahoma State since 2011 or 2021
mm.
against TCU. And so it's like that's
Back when Oklahoma State was still good.
right, exactly. And TCU's defense I think was pretty leaky back then. But um right. And then like for them to kind of find something against Baylor, like
Mm-hmm.
that's
Do
uh
you do you put any of that on like Oklahoma State being like fired up and trying to be inspired? Obviously, it looked like the fans didn't exactly show out for this one.
um yeah, I do. I do think that it is that there is a little bit of uh you know, having Mike Gundy gone and everything, that did certainly uh, fire them up a little bit. Um, I know, talking to some people, some Oklahoma State people here, I know that they were saying that, Mike Gundy had run his course, and that was very clear that he had run his course and that he was angry at the school and he was angry at everybody. And so I do think that maybe Zane Flores was opened up a little bit, and I think that they were playing kind of with a chip on their shoulder, and they
Mm.
were kind of playing. But again, I think that there's some uh, I don't know. I put more on Baylor than I do on that
Mm.
than anything. So yeah, uh,
Yeah,
I'm still in the press box here, so that's why I'm a little like
I got you. I
people are
got you.
still working.
I heard. So we've been talking about it all year, but Baylor trying to put
Mhm.
a complete game together. That still seems like something to try to achieve, that because they didn't do it again today. Um, but did you take more like good out of this game here in Stillwater, or um, like I said, alarm?
I take more good. I think that I mean that like I said, I think that the offense that's pretty repeatable, and even though Bryson-Washington did leave towards the end of the game with an injury, Dave didn't have any more information on that. I think you saw the depth at running back with Caden Knighton and Michael
Mm-hmm.
Turner. And I do think that, you see with the depth at linebacker with Kylan Reed having a big game and Caleb Burns having a big game. Um, I think that I do take more positive out of this, only just because, you kind of you came to Stillwater, you got the win, you did what you needed to do, you showed some depth, even
Mm-hmm.
if it wasn't pretty at times, you showed some things you needed to. So, I think moving forward, um, yeah, I would say there's positive. I still think I'm going to pick Kansas State. If you have to put a gun to my head right now, I'm
Mm.
picking Kansas State next week, but. Um,
In Waco, no
Right,
less.
right. Well, I think that might be a disadvantage for the Bears because I made the comment at the beginning of the game when the stadium was probably half full, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, it was still more full than McLean was last week. So,
Ouch. Ouch.
right, right,
And true.
right.
Uh, well, I don't know. Maybe, we know Baylor fans are kind of bandwagon fans, and so maybe a win gets people excited again. Um, Still a lot to play
Mhm.
for this Baylor team, no question about it. And yeah, I'm on the fence in terms of like um, goods slash evil from this game.
Right, right,
Like I good enough isn't always good enough.
right, right.
And
It's kind
so
of
I
like
do,
I
I
kind of
do
get the
think,
same vibes as like Samford,
yeah,
right, right, where you got the win, but like wasn't very good.
right. That said, I also agree with the statement that a win is a win. And they're 3-2. Um, they've lost to two pretty good teams, in Auburn and Arizona State. I think the Sun Devils will be back in the poll this week. Auburn lost a close game, at A&M today. No shame in that. The Aggies are undefeated and top 10 in the country. So, um, yeah, I mean, I tend to lean toward picking Baylor next week, but that said, um, with this team, anything's in play.
Right. I mean, you never know kind of what you're going to get. And I think that's what is kind of scary.
Yeah,
You could get the offense against Arizona State, you could get the defense against Oklahoma State. So I don't know. It's kind of still a pick your poison, which, they still have yet to play that complementary football and put, two sides of the
put it
ball
all
together
together.
at once. So,
Yeah,
but it's in there. I think we know it's in there. And
right. Be certainly exciting for Baylor fans if they, if they're finally able to do that.
right.
Well, um, you mentioned it, Sawyer. I think Caden Knighton showing out a little bit is a
Mhm.
big thing.
Mhm.
I did see that there were some penalties on the offensive line late in the game, right?
Yeah, I think they had three holding calls on Sidney Fugar and two false starts on Colton Price. So, yeah, there were that was an uncharacteristic thing for that offensive line with as senior heavy as they are and experienced as they are. I don't think Sidney Fugar has been the best this year. I think they've certainly rotated in some other players at that position earlier in the season. They didn't today because they were already down one lineman and they were already trying to kind of fit that puzzle together. But yeah, so you're right. There were a couple late penalties that Baylor probably could have scored a lot more points.
Um, general impressions of Stillwater, Oklahoma, and Boone Pickens Stadium. I did want to give you an advance warning about the fact that Boone Pickens has maybe the nicest press box bathrooms I've ever been. Yes, can you confirm?
I posted a picture. Oh yeah, I posted a picture from up here on Instagram, and Danny Davis, who covers Texas for the Austin American-Statesman, he replied and he was like, the best press box bathrooms in the business.
It's like it's when guys, when I say it's better than Buc-ee's, I mean, obviously
that's not get carried away.
That's high praise, but what I mean by that is that I've been in the press box bathroom there where they've had an attendant and like little mints and stuff, and I'm like, where am I? So I don't know if was that the case today.
There was no attendant. Attendant. But it's very nice. I don't think I could live here. But it's kind of like Morgantown. Like
right,
it's a good like college town. Like we went to Eskimo Joe's. We went to Hideaway Pizza. I did kind of what you're supposed to do, and found a really good brewery, Iron. And so like I'm looking forward to my trip back here. Again, I don't think I could live here, but I'm looking
well, I will say, I think the largest percentage of Oklahoma State fans or Oklahoma State alums in the world live in Tulsa. So, even a lot of OSU people aren't living in Stillwater.
Wow.
They're driving over for the game. It's a college town, and I completely get what you're saying. Can they hear me in the press box?
No, they cannot hear you. But like
my longtime nickname, which Zach knows for Stillwater, is Stoolwater. But it's also because I know guys that went to OSU, and but it's it is what it is. Morgantown, that's a pretty good comparison.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably still rather live in Stillwater than Morgantown myself. I don't like the cold weather, and to me, there's really nothing in Morgantown, and at least you can get to Tulsa and Oklahoma City from Stillwater. So
at least you can get to Pittsburgh from Morgantown.
Plus Hideaway Pizza. I'll take that all day.
That's true.
I'll take that all day. Anyway, obviously, Baylor will be back home next week against K-State. Who do they have the week after that?
It's a bye week, and then they go to TCU.
Gotcha. So. Yeah. So big game still coming up.
Oh yeah.
Should be fun. You be safe coming back home. And good job.
Yeah. See you when I see you.